How's it going, everybody? This is Jeff Mammy, Team Reeling the Blues. I'm just going to give you a quick tip. You can see we're out here anchored in heavy current. We have flood-like conditions, so we're getting a lot of water moving through here. But I'm going to show you something that's underutilized for anchoring. That's a planer board. This is Zach Royce style planer board. I use them a lot when I'm out drifting on the main lake, but I use them a lot when I'm anchored in current like this right here. They work just as good in current as they do when you're drifting. Actually, I think they work a little better because they will definitely pull out in this type of current. So all I do it just like you do if you're normally fishing. I use my same drift rigs I always use. Sometimes I downsize the weight just a little bit. I'm only going to use about 2.5 ounces. That's an ounce. There's about 2 ounces. These are stick weights that I make. Again, if you look back on some of my videos, you'll see that I make my own mold for these. You can click on the video and watch it. It's pretty easy. I'm going to use my standard drift rig. 8/0 Gamakatsu hook. I'm going to leave the bobber down. I'm going to use a fresh butterfly gizzard shad for bait. Now, a lot of people think these fish are only going to be on the bottom. Well, believe it or not, they ain't. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this one about, I'm in 29 foot of water right now. I'm going to set this thing at about 30 foot. When it feeds out, it's going to be sitting there bobbing up and down in the current. Because that weight will hold it up, but it will definitely keep going up and down. So let's feed it out. I'm going to drop it down first till it hits the bottom. Alright, we're on the bottom. Lock it down. And then we'll just put the planer board on there and get them to feed out. It helped I'd get the right planer board for that sign. We'll get this rascal figured out, see if we can't get a monster. So here's what I mean by people not using their planer boards to their greatest potential. I mean, everybody uses them when they're pulling lines, but now what I'm done is I'm anchored right about right here. I got this whole ledge covered with my baits. The current's running this way, and I got a pretty heavy current today. But you can literally see right over here, you can see the water's got a little bit of a different flow on the surface, and the reason why is it's coming over this hump. So I'm anchored right about here. If I was to try to throw it in that hump, you know what's going to happen. The current's going to flow it straight back down. Same way here. You can see behind here, there's a lot of swirling in this area, which is prime area to catch fish. But the problem is, if you try to throw to it, unless you're throwing 12 ounces of weight, it's just going to sweep it right back down, and you got to be perfect with your throw. So I'm sitting right here. I've got one of the planer boards fed all the way out. So the boat's right around this area here. The planer board's pulled down. The planer board's behind here. So now my line's back here just dancing away. And now I can literally watch it and feed it right where I want it. Once I get it right where I want it, just lock the reel down, and now I'm covering this stretch of water, or this stretch of water, depending on how far I feed the line out. You feed it out, the further you feed it out, the further it goes down, but also the further it will feed to the left or right, whichever side you got it on. The planer board over here, it's fed all the way out, and it's literally setting right here. So now I'm covering all that. This water's swirling around here. My bait is right here and right here. If I pull the planer board in a little bit more to get it right in here, my bait is dancing right here. So if I catch a fish, then all I gotta do is turn around and feed the planer board right back out to the exact same spot. That's about as precision as you're gonna get offering bait to catfish in heavy current. As you can see, it's feeding out really easy. I mean, I can lock it down right there. It's only fed out about 15-20 feet off the side of the boat, but I'm going to go ahead and run it way out on that flat. There's a shallow flat on this side where it's only about 8 foot deep. So I'm going to try to get it all the way over on top of it. I know it's hard to see right now, but the planer board that I put off to the side right now, it's about 100, 120 feet to the left of us. all the way back, right on top of a sandbar that's back there. That's kind of what I'm wanting. I've got the deep water covered right here. I've got that buoy got that planer board all the way up on top of the sandbar right now, so the bait's just out there bouncing on top of that sandbar. Some of them big girls coming up to feed, they'll be coming right up on that shallow flat. Main reason is the back side of it, where that planer board's at right now, is like a current break. It drops off in the deep water again. So hopefully they're up behind that bar trying to ambush anything coming through here. We got a good spread. Now all we got to do is just get a good bite.